Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Everybody's got their seat. Nobody wants to get any closer. It's like the splash zone at SeaWorld. Might get some God on you, Alan. You want to be careful there. So we're going to begin page 128.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. We'll continue on the bottom of page 129. Eila Chamda Libi. Eila Chamda Libi. Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eila Chamda Libi. Chusana ve'al natitalem. Eile Chamda Libi, 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 Chusana ve'al natitalem.
Page 131, Shiru Adonai, Shir Chadash. We sing unto God a new song.
Shiru Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru miyom liyom Yeshuato, Tzapru v'goyim, Kevodo b'chol ha'amim, Nifleotav, Ki gadol Adonai, Hulal me'od, Norahu, Al kol Elohim, Hayaya, Yadayadayada, 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 Yadayadayada,
Page 142, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Growing up in the San Francisco Bay Area, when we'd have Shabbat in our kitchen at home, my parents we called it the roundabout because you walked around about it. And it was just a kitchen island that was on wheels. And we would put the Shabbos candles on this big butcher block kitchen island, and everybody would stand around. And that was where we would do Shabbat. And if we did Shabbat anywhere else in the house, if it was on like the fancy dining room table, it wasn't Shabbat. If it was the candles were lit on the stovetop, it wasn't Shabbat. It had to be around that butcher block roundabout. So I'm going to ask you to come stand with me around our version of the butcher block roundabout. If you'll come join us for the lighting of the Shabbat candles, we can do it together. Yeah. Things you can do when there's just a menu. How are you? Shabbat shalom. Good to see you. Does everybody know each other? Why don't we go around and introduce ourselves? That'd be nice.
I get to start?
You do.
Kevin?
Charlotte. Jeff.
John.
And I'm Dan. You're not allowed to move out of those spots. So now we're so glad that you're here to make Shabbat special and warm by being here. So let's join together. There's a reading that Cantor Tasik and I will do. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Also standing around that butcher block, my mom would wave her arms 3 times to bring Shabbat in, and she would say to bring her family close. She still says that. It's not like she doesn't say that. I'm not there to hear it. So we bring Shabbat in, we bring our families close, our community close. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat shalom. We return to our seats. We continue page 138. We welcome the Sabbath bride with the singing of Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabla Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Hishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad Ushmo echad l'shemot tiferet L'tehila lecha Dodi likrat kala Pene Shabbat nekabla Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor haberacha mirosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshava techila lecha Dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabla Mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzehi mitoch hafecha rav lach shevet ramek habracha v'hu yachamo alaychem la lecha Dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabla.
Verse 5.
Hitoreri, kiva orech, kumi uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, halayich nigla,
Lecha, we rise to greet the Sabbath bride.
Likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabla. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvtala toch emune am segula boi chala lecha Dodi likrat
remain standing. We turn to page 263, Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba
Amen.
ve'alma divrachute v'yamlich malchute
B'chayechon
v'yom echon uv'chayedechol Beit Yisrael Bagala uv'izman kariv Veimeru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach, Le'alam Olam Me'amaya Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Kedusha Barechu, Le'elam Min Kol Berchata V'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma ve'imeru. Amen.
Remain standing. Page 264, the Baruch Hu, a call to worship.
Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam va'ed.
Be seated. We continue we acknowledge evening. It's been getting lighter later, but still, as evening comes, we look out at the heavens and we look in awe and wonder at the miracles that surround us. So we thank God for the blessings of nature. Read Arvim, page 265, we can join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokhma poteach she'arim, u'vitvona meshane itim, u'machalif et hazmanim, u'mesader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, u'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla, u'mavdil bein yom u'bein layla, Adonai tzavaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amchavta Torah mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadata Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbeinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chokecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'yorech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla ve'ahavatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael ohev amo Israel.
Before our service this evening, we had our junior congregation, our Tot Shabbat. We had about 75 parents and kids here, and we were in two different services. And leading the junior congregation, which is our grade 1 and up students that came, I was speaking with them about the prayer that we're about to do, Ahavat Olam, where it talks about God's love for the Jewish people, so much so that God gave us Torah. And I asked them, who loves you? It's an easier question to ask, who do you love? You can go through the list of all the people that matter to you. It's a little harder, and harder even still if you're in grade 1, to answer the question, who loves you? But if you think for a moment to yourselves, of the people on that list, of those that are in your life and in your world that love you. And then if we use the model of this prayer, that love is a reciprocal relationship. That God shows God's love for the Jewish people through the giving of Torah, and the Jewish people show their love for God by the following of Torah. If those people in your life love you, and how do they demonstrate that love to you, and how do you demonstrate it or reciprocate their love back. Just think for a moment of that relationship in your life, those loving relationships. How do they show their love for you? And how do you return that love? With your own attention, your own generosity, your own love. So often we get caught up in the theology of Judaism and the complexity of this whole idea of God, and for some it is approachable, and for others it is the barrier that prevents them from actually getting closer to God because it seems to be so theologically distant. Even we're referencing our Sunday school days where we just never quite approached it. But if we break it down to those people in our life that matter to us and to whom we matter to, I think that that's the essence of divinity, that's the essence of holiness. I think that God shows up in our life by the people that we love and the people that love us. And so here, this prayer is a model and a reminder for us to be reciprocal just as God was with the giving of Torah and we are with the doing of Torah. To acknowledge those that love us in our lives and to love them back in so many different and meaningful ways. Page 266, Ahavat Olam. We did that.
We did.
Right, we did. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Voed Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Amet. We sing Song of Freedom and Redemption, page 270.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה עלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור בצאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. השיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום בעמידנו שומרנו לחיים.
Page 272, Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. Yum bada bim bum bye, Shabbat Shabbat, yum bada bim bum bye, Shabbat Shabbat, yum bada bim bum bye, Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash. Yom bada bim bum bye, Shabbat Shabbat, yom bada bim bum bye, Shabbat Shabbat, yom bada bim bum bye, Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom.
Return to page 274 and we rise for the Amidah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah El Elyon Komal chasadim tovim v'konei hakol v'zocher chasdei avod v'imahod u'mevi geola livnei v'neihem lema'an shemo be'ahava melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen Baruch atah Adonai magen Avraham be'ezrat Sarah atah gibor le'olam Adonai Mechayim etim ata rav lehoshia Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem Mechalkel chayim bechesed Mechayim etim berachamim rabim Somech noflim berofei cholim U'matir asurim U'mekayim emunato Lishenei afar Michamocha ba'al gevurot Umidol melach Melech memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman ha'tala chayot metim Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hametim Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kdoshim b'chayom yalanu chasala Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh.
Amen. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. Please be seated. Page 277, the last paragraph on the page.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Ritzei b'menuchatenu Kadshenu b'mitzvotecha V'tein chelkeinu b'toratecha Sabeinu mituvecha V'samcheinu b'shuatecha V'taher libenu ותאר ליבנו לעבדך באמת, ותאר ליבנו, ותאר ליבנו, ותאר ליבנו לעבדך באמת. והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו, באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך, וינוחו בישראל, מקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת.
Middle of page 278, Keith Nuskart's favorite reading. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh HaShabbat. You come to shul a lot. The rabbi knows what readings you like. I know what John likes too. We're going to do that one later. Page 279.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ahava tekabel u'tehila ratzon Tamid avodat Yisrael. Yisrael Amecha. El karov lecho, korov panei, el avadecha vechonenu, shepoch ruchacha.
If you were watching social media at all these last day or two, you saw what happened at the Kotel with Women of the Wall. It's Rosh Chodesh, and we're going to do the prayer for Rosh Chodesh in just a moment. And you saw, I think, or maybe you saw, that Anat Hoffman and the group of women from Women at the Wall were once again accosted and assaulted as they came to the Kotel to pray and to read Torah. Had this happened anywhere else in the world, had Jews been attacked for trying to read Torah anywhere else in the world, this sanctuary would have been filled like Pittsburgh. The sanctuary would have, and our community would have been up in arms. But because it was in Israel, because of the hegemony of the Orthodox rabbinate in Israel, because of our discomfort perhaps in confronting our own fundamentalists within our religion, it barely registers. It wasn't on CNN. It's not going to be on the cover of the New York Times tomorrow morning. You had to kind of find it on your Facebook feed, and the videos that were posted by the Reform Movement, not by other news agencies. We need to explore that. We need to think about that. What are we doing to ourselves that in the Jewish state, 70 plus years after we fought for 2,000 years to establish that place, that women are not treated as equals or with respect, and not just at the Kotel on this International Women's Day, but throughout the state of Israel. Women's pictures are removed from billboards and from publications. If you saw the IKEA catalog IKEA was being sued in Israel because they removed all women from the pictures in the catalog, because somehow Orthodox Jews seeing pictures of women would be an affront to them. There's nothing in Torah, there's nothing in Talmud that says you can't look at a picture of a woman or see a woman. It's very troubling. Very troubling. I don't have an answer for you, but I did want to raise our attention to it. So we offer a prayer for Rosh Chodesh here in not only the relative safety, but the complete safety of our sanctuary here, knowing that women offering this same prayer, Jewish women on the Kotel Plaza, were beaten,
And police stood by, Jewish policemen stood by and did nothing.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Ya'aleh v'Yavo v'Yizacher Zichronenu, v'Zichron kol Amcha Beit Yisrael lefanecha, Letova, Lechein u'Lechesed u'Lerachamim, Lechaim u'Shalom, B'yom Rosh HaChodesh Hazeh. Zochreinu Adonai Eloheinu bo letova.
Amen.
Ufokdeinu vo livracha.
Amen.
V'hoshienu vo lechaim.
Amen. Our God and God of our fathers and our mothers, be mindful of us and all of your people Israel on this, the first day of the month of Adar 2, this new month, and renew in us love and compassion, goodness, life, and peace. This day remember us for well-being. Amen.
Amen.
This day bless us with your nearness.
Amen.
This day help us to a fuller life. Amen.
Amen.
Page 280. You can do it. No, it's fine.
Ve'ol nisecha shebecho yom imanu, ve'ol niflotecha v'tovotecha me'olam kivinu lach, me'olam kivinu lach. Ve'al nisecha shebecho eit, erev avoker v'tzohorayim, me'olam kivinu lach, me'olam kivinu lach. Hatov kiluchalu rachamecha, Behamrachem kilu tamu chasadecha, me'olam kivinu lach, me'olam kivinu lach.
We continue page 282, Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lecho hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon Lecho hashalom, shalom rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. Bechol leit uvachol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom.
We turn to page 371. We offer a prayer of healing for those who are sick and in need of healing. On this Shabbat, we ask God's blessing of healing on Misha Berach, on Leah Bat Sora, Mildred Feldman, Kwaiwe Song, Ellen Becker, Judy Ashburn, David Natan Ben Serol, Marion Baird, Michael Cavell, and Yana Timko. If there are others in need of this blessing, this prayer for healing, please share their names now. We join together page 371 of Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lehavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Just to draw your attention briefly to the announcements in your handout. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, if you're up for it, you can go with our sisterhood and go axe throwing. I don't think there's another sisterhood in the country, if not the world, that has an axe throwing event. That's at 6 o'clock at a place called Bad Axe Throwing in Surrey. The men's club on Tuesday night, March 12th at 7 o'clock is having our inaugural men's room. I think the pun is intended. I'll be leading a discussion on the ethics of driverless cars. Believe it or not, the Talmud has a lot to say about driverless cars and the old trolley problem. So come for wine and light refreshments and a conversation. You can learn how to make hamantaschen on Thursday night, the 14th at 6:30 here at the synagogue. Next Friday night, March 15th, two things going on. It's our Kavanah Shabbat, our second one. This is our musical Shabbat service. It's a more informal. It's done in the round. It's at 6 o'clock. There's a 5:30 wine and cheese. We call it a preneg reception before the service. Service is 6 to 7. And then in this instance, though not always like this, there's a dinner following the service at 7 o'clock. Part of our TSU, our Temple Shalom U program. It's a discussion with Temple member Patricia Daly, who's going to be discussing BC's drug overdose deaths, interventions, and prevention. There's no 8:15 service that evening. If you're interested in our Wise Aging program, this is an 8-part course on intentional aging. I know we age whether we intend to or not, but the course helps guide those who are interested in through the intricacies of and changes that take place in our social life, in our spiritual life, in our emotional life, even our physical life. You can see Cantor Tausig about it. She's coordinating the program, and that starts on Sunday, March 17th. There's more going on, but that happens later in the month, including 60 Plus and Purim on March 20th, and of course the Dreamers and Builders Gala on May 5th at 6 o'clock at the Convention Center, where we'll be honoring Jack Lutsky and Susan Mendelson, as well as recipients of the Teen Tikkun Olam Award. Any announcements I missed? The blood drive. Tell us about the blood drive, Keith. Okay. March is Blood Drive Month. Terrific. So I know there's only a few here as opposed to the big giant crowds, but I've been thinking about my talk with you all week. So I'm going to give you a full sermon, whether you want one or not, because there's something I want to say, I guess. And when you're the rabbi, you get to say it. What about neo-Nazis? What about the radical left? What about AIPAC? What about the Jewish Voice for Peace group? What about the settlements in Israel? What about You Call It Palestine? What about BDS? What about the checkpoints? What about missiles from Gaza? What about anti-Semitism? What about Islamophobia? What about the left? What about the right? What about? We have gotten very good at whatabouting. The most cogent example, and this sermon is not at all about Trump, but he's a familiar and convenient example, and so I'll use it for this purpose, is if we remember when President Trump blamed both sides for the violence in Charlottesville. Quoting, "What about the alt-left that came charging at the, as you say, the alt-right?" the president said. "Don't they have any semblance of guilt?" And for a nanosecond, especially to an uncritical listener, this stab at logic might seem interesting, even thought-provoking, and that's why it's such a useful political tool. You see, what he was doing there, and what we have been doing a lot in our dialogues, in our discussions, in person, online, in the media, is doing something called whataboutism. Whataboutism appeals to the broad context to offer a counterpoint, when really it's actually diverting blame. It's muddying the waters and confusing most rational listeners. See, whataboutism refers to the practice of deflecting criticism by pointing to the misdeeds of others. Oxford Dictionary defines it as the technique or practice of responding to an accusation or difficult question by making a counter-accusation or raising an entirely different issue. Essentially, it's an appeal to hypocrisy, a logical fallacy also known as touché. Instead of proving that your opponent's claim is wrong on its face, whataboutism argues that it is hypocritical of the opponent to make that claim at all. Oh, you think anti-Semitism on the extreme right is bad? What about the anti-Semitism on the radical left? And not only does it help to reflect our original argument, but it also throws you off balance. Alexei Kavalev, a Russian journalist who wrote about this all the way back during the Cold War era as a tactic of political misdirection, one that was first developed by the Kremlin, but now employed by just about everyone I have had a conversation with in the last whatever. See, what Kavalev said is, you're expecting to be in a civilized argument that doesn't use cheap tricks and stuff like that. You're playing chess, and your opponent, while making a lousy mood, punches you right in the nose. Whataboutism is a form of corrosive comparison in which nothing my tribe does is ever as bad as what your tribe did. My side did this thing, but the thing that your side did, that was worse. What about that? Whataboutism is one of the logical fallacies people employ without realizing that they don't actually prove anything. And it even has a name: the fallacy of relative privation. Whatever is being discussed is compared to the best or the worst possible example. And if this all sounds familiar, it's because it has become our default political speak, and it is seeping into our relationships as well. In an age where the internet provides limitless access to information, where nothing is not known anymore, it makes it so easy to make sloppy arguments and false comparisons. Whataboutism has become how we talk to each other when we don't care very much about the other, because they are the other. Whataboutism is laziness, and it's infuriating, and it's everywhere. Whataboutism is destroying friendships. It has broken up relationships, and is making debate at universities and the public square impossible and sometimes violent. It is in all of those places, and it is most assuredly in the current debate about the rise of anti-Semitism around the globe. Instead of figuring out how to combat anti-Semitism, we are focusing on who is more to blame for it. Left or right, leftist liberals, right-wing radicals. Rome is burning, and it doesn't really matter right now who lit the match. We need to put out the fire. The truth is, anti-Semitism is prevalent on both the left and the right, but that does not make them equivalent. They are of different character, and they present different challenges, and they need to be addressed in different ways. They are both dangerous, but that does not make them the same. You see, left-wing anti-Semitism is better organized. It's more widespread. It has friends in higher places outside the United States. It's more socially acceptable, and it's dangerously ignored by the people with the power to actually combat it. But on the other hand, left-wing anti-Semitism rarely kills people, so there's that. Right-wing anti-Semitism has friends in higher places outside the U.S. and Europe, or in the United States and Europe, I should say. It's far more violent and murderous and would be far more dangerous in the long term if it is not stopped early. On the other hand, it is far less organized and is characterized by behavior of individuals rather than groups, and it cannot summon the power of the mob the way that BDS so often does. The tactics that they use to attack us are different. The tactics that we must use to fight them are different. But their goal is the same. The goal of left-wing anti-Semitism and right-wing anti-Semitism is the same: the destruction of the Jewish people. End point. In one way or another, that's what they want to do. And so to engage in an argument between us or with them about anti-Semitism via the simplistic tactic of whataboutism is to completely miss the point. It is not about which is worse. It is about what we can do about both. And to be clear, if you bring up left-wing anti-Semitism in order to avoid having to deal with right-wing anti-Semitism, that is whataboutism. And if you bring up left-wing anti-Semitism in order to address it in addition to or instead of right-wing anti-Semitism, that is whataboutism. And the same rule applies if you switch left and right, back and forth. Robbie Waisman, who we all know, taught me once that you should never compare traumas. One of the most profound things I've ever heard. His point being that what pains you and your people is not any more or less painful when compared to the pain of others, if they see their own pain as being definitive. When both sides play the distraction game, all we have are distractions. There are no facts, merely alternative facts. There can be no crystallizing of events from which we emerge more unified or more understanding. There can only be dueling narratives. There can be no common facts for us to agree upon. There can only be a series of false scandals building on one another like a game of Jenga until the entire edifice comes crashing down. We can acknowledge that different things upset us to differing degrees without issuing a moral or character judgment about them, without saying that this type of Jew hatred is better or worse than that type of Jew hatred. They are both abhorrent. We cannot compare traumas. And by the way, I want to make a point. I have started to use Jew hatred instead of anti-Semitism as a term. Nobody knows what a Semite is. We need to call it what it is. It's Jew hatred. If we try to arbitrate legitimate grievances from illegitimate grievances, it will ultimately result in a world where no grievances are ever addressed, because somewhere there will always be a larger monster to destroy. 30 years ago, being able to effectively whatabout a debate would have required either a voluminous knowledge of the history of the subject or some serious time spent in a research institution or a library just to come up with all these facts that you were going to whatabout somebody with. But now, we have Google on our phones, we have the internet, we have the web. Legions of supporters are out there looking for perceived hypocrisy and good examples to fact check us and to wiggle to the surface quickly. There's a huge amount of information immediately available at our fingertips from which we can cherry pick our whataboutism. And people are doing that. We're doing that. Social media is the world's most effective rhetorical undermining machine ever created. People who debate politics on social media build more defensive trenches and turrets than a doughboy in 1917 in World War I. Whataboutism is a small part of those defenses, but it is easy, and it's a cheap part. If all of this makes you want to throw up your hands and delete your Facebook account because you can't win an argument anymore like you ever could with anybody that's in your social media stream or anybody that you talk to online, that's the wrong response. I know it feels good. I deleted my Facebook account 3 or 4 times in the last couple of weeks. Silence or surrender to the loudest voices in the room is never the answer. Sometimes to disagree at this moment with the late Jim Croce, you do have to spit into the wind. You do have to fight City Hall. A few weeks ago, we read in the book of Exodus, "You shall not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shall you bear witness in a cause to turn aside after a multitude to pervert justice." Rashbam, a 12th century French scholar of Jewish text, explained the meaning of that verse because it's a little hard to unpack. He said that if, in your opinion, the majority are about to commit an error in judgment, do not remain silent just because they are the majority. State your view. British writer Iris Murdoch wrote, quoting, "Words constitute the ultimate texture and stuff of our moral being. We become spiritual animals when we become verbal animals. Words are spirit. The quality of a civilization depends upon its ability to discern and reveal truth, and this depends on the scope and the purity of its language, its use of words." The purity of language. That is what the Torah mandated in that quote, what Rashbam explained. It's not just for the courts, but it's for everyday conversation, the traffic of life. And purity of language is especially vital on the information battlefield of the 21st century, where words are weapons. At the beginning, the middle, and the end of the day, a Jew hater is a Jew hater is a Jew hater, whether they come from the left or the right or the middle. It is time for us to condemn the anti-Semitism of the right and the anti-Semitism of the left, with no whataboutism involved. Just name the evil when it comes, and be prepared to fight it, whatever it takes. Ken Yehי Ratzon, may it be God's will. Amen. Service continues. We rise for Elenu, page 586.
Ladon hakol, latek gdula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושה הארץ ומשה ביקרו בשמיים עמו ושכינתו זו וגבי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, והדעת היום, השבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ, מתחת עינות, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Please be seated. A reading before the mourner's cottage, page 592. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved, and if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that is left of me is love, give me away. The Mourner's Cottage is on page 598. We recall those who died during this past week, these past 30 days, whose families are in the midst of Shiva and Shloshim. As I read the name of your loved one, if you could rise and remain standing. Ruth Blenko, Yosef Kabanovsky, and Baruch Levy. And those for whom the Yortzeit, the anniversary of the death of your loved one, is on this Shabbat, if you too could please rise and remain standing as I read their name. Arlene Billenkoff, Margaret Breslov, Libby Brown, Maya Skulski Challenger, Stephen Chernin, Bella Coblin, Elsie Easton, Dina Elias, Milton Goldberg, Marcia Goldfeder, Walter Groh, Max Hansen, Sidney Hartman, Ruth Hendon, Rachel Jacobson, Dorothy Levine, Teddy Margulis, Agnes Parker, Stephen Rivers, Lee Schwenk, Albert Seelig, Bill Simons, Mark Stevens, Arlie Stevens, Hilda Stern, Bess Stewart, Rachel Tessler, Esther Vernon, Marguerite Walker, Dr. Michael Weinsanker. There are others who come to say Kaddish, names that I've missed or names I've mispronounced. If you could please rise and share their names as well. Looking around the congregation, we see those that have risen in mourning. We don't want them to stand alone, and so we stand now by their side, providing the presence of our comfort of our presence as we recall all those who died in defense of freedom and justice, those victims of terror in this land and the land of Israel, around the world, as well as those who died in the Shoah and the Holocaust that have no one to remember them. We recall them for blessing as well. Page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah v'yomah divra hirutei v'yomlich malchutei v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei l'chol beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kariv v'moru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei olmaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei l'kudesha b'richu la'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata daminron v'alma v'yimaru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yakol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn comfort the bereaved among us, and we say together, amen. If you'll join us up here for Kiddush and Motzi. Manischewitz and grape juice.
Thank you.
Manischewitz. Oh, absolutely. I always wanted 10 bar.
Seem like a natural.
Right. Was ordained to serve.
Anybody? What do you like? Wine or juice? Okay.
Wine? There you go. Two juices in the back. Wine or juice? You got it? Okay.
Another juice?
Sure. Okay.
Juice, juice, juice.
Okay.
Vayhi erev, vayhi boker, yom hashishi, vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz, v'echol tzavaham, v'yachal Elohim b'yom hashvihi, malachto asher asa, v'yishbot b'yom hashvihi, mikol malachto asher asa, v'yavarech Elohim et yom hashvihi, v'yakadesh oto, kivo shavat mikol malachto, asher bara Elohim lasot. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kichanu b'mitzvotov, b'ratzavanu, בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת לחיים.
Chaim.
Oh, it's a challah.
Surprise.
Could have been anything.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom.
Service is tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. There is religious school on Sunday with Minyan at 9:45 on Sunday and 7:45 on Monday. I leave for Israel next Friday for our temple trip. So if I don't see you, I'll see you when I get back. I'll see you there. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Thank you.